Hey there, folks. Mark Johnson from TechSnob. I'm going to do a comparison, head-to-head, Galaxy Note 8.0, iPad Mini, both very, very good tablets. We really can't go wrong with either one. Starting off, they both do a lot of nice things. The iPad Mini, just starting off from the jump, hardware and design. You know, they both look very similar, but it is some differences. You know, the iPad, you know, typical Apple fashion is always aluminum, metal, you know, high-end quality plastic. And then, you know, the Galaxy Note, you know, like a lot of other Samsung devices, a lot of plastic. Nothing wrong with it, but, you know, keep that in mind if you're really into, you know, hardware and feel. The iPad is actually even thinner, you know, than the Galaxy Note, and it is a little bit lighter as well. So keep that in mind when keeping these two devices in mind if you're looking at them. If that's not really too big of a deal, next thing we'll just kind of take a look at is the software. You know, performance and software, they both perform very, very well. It's definitely nothing, you know, between both devices that I see that's, you know, that gives one a specific advantage over the other outside of just your operating system preference. I mean, they both surf the web great. You can put Chrome on both browsers. You can use, you know, a lot of different tools in the App Store. And, you know, overall, I don't see anything that's, you know, it's just a personal preference. Going to CNN.com on both. iPad wins a little bit, you know, more faster there a little bit. But, you know, for the most part, it's nothing, you know, too much different, you know, on the devices. Some of the other things about them is that, you know, the Galaxy Note, you do have the ability to use the S Pen. And that definitely does make a difference, especially if you're an artist or if you're a type of person that likes to draw. It does give you a lot more functionality when you look at it from that aspect where, you know, the iPad, you really don't have that. You can get a stylus on the iPad, but it doesn't have a digitizer built into it, and it doesn't give you all the nice pressure sensitivity, you know, that you'll get with the Note, you know, depending on how hard you press on the screen and, you know, all these nice little features. You know, there's various Adobe apps you can get. So if you're into creativity, drawing, and so forth, definitely check out the Galaxy Note 8.0. It's definitely very nice for that. Some of the other things else I like about the Galaxy Note is that, it, you know, if you do switch it, of course, you have the horizontal mode, which, you know, landscape mode, and a lot of Android devices you don't have, but it does have Android 4.12, I believe. Just double check that, 4.12. And another thing about it that it has built in is the Watch On app. And like if you're really into using, you know, your TV remote, or you want to use a tablet as a remote, this device can do it. It's got an infrared port right at the top. You control your set-top box, your TV. You can, you know, it gives you suggestions with the Watch On TV. Just overall, very, very nice, you know, feature on it. Now, you could do, you know, on the iPad, it doesn't have infrared or anything like that, but it does have, you know, still the biggest app store out there. You go into the app store, literally, more often than not, anytime an app is out, more often than not, it's on the iPad or iOS store first. You know, they're getting better with it on Android, but a lot of times you do seem to find the latest and greatest apps on the iPad. I mean, you get very decent performance. You know, with the iPad, it's definitely nothing, you know, wrong with it. It is limited. It's more limited in what you can do compared to Android. But, you know, once again, it's a personal preference thing. I definitely like the feature on the iPad where this is the LTE model. And I do like that flexibility. And in the States, they don't currently offer a Galaxy Note on LTE, but I'm sure they'll have one in the future. So definitely keep that in mind if you want to be on the internet anywhere. You're probably going to definitely want to look at the iPad Mini. Camera quality on both of them, I mean, you know, they're like 5 megapixel cameras. I mean, there's nothing really too super spectacular about them. I mean, they do get the job done. You know, the iPad, you know, takes decent pictures. And then if you know, pull up the Galaxy Note, go into the camera on this, it gives you a lot more options, you know, a typical Samsung fashion. Always a lot more options. Just going into settings, you see all these different focus mode, outdoor mode, visibility, scene mode. I mean, it's just got a plethora of all kind of various apps. apps and, I mean, you know, plugins, so forth that you can use, Share Shop, Buddy Share, you know, NFC, just features galore on all the Samsung products. But like I said, you know, keep in mind, if you've seen one, you kind of seen them all. I mean, there's the Note 2 compared to it. There's the Galaxy S3. And then last but not least, you have the, you know, the S4. So, I mean, just kind of, they all look very, very similar. You know, so, you know, just keep that in mind. If you're really wanting the coolest looking thing, you're probably not going to get that with the Galaxy Note 2 if that's your deal. So my overall conclusion, honestly, you can't go wrong with either. I mean, I think it really comes down to price for me on this one. And the iPad mini does win in that because it's $329. I've seen a lot of places now around $300. You know, the Galaxy Note just came out and it's very nice, but it's still around $399, and that's not a bad price. But I do think that, you know, if you don't want to use the, you know, the stylus, you don't have a need for it. I mean, there's still other, you know, cool features like the multi-window and so forth. But, you know, obviously everybody doesn't have a use for all this extracurricular stuff. So it's kind of like, if you're looking for your best bang for your buck, you may even want to look at some tablets, you know, the Galaxy Tab 7.0, which I've seen is $200, $150. You know, the Kindle Fires and all these other various tablets out there, Nook HD and so forth. You really can't go wrong with either of those tablets either. So keep that in mind. And thanks for watching. Be sure to check out the site, tech-snobs.com. Hopefully this video helps you make decisions between the two. I mean, like I said, if money's not an option, I definitely think the Note will give you, you know, pretty much, you know, more flexibility. But once again, if you want to use 4G LTE, you need it now. Something small, compact. You know, most apps out there, you can't go wrong with the iPad mini. So thanks for watching, folks. Take care.